Detroit, Michigan is a vibrant city and an area that has definitely gone through a rebirth from some of the times back in the 80s and 90s when the city was on decline. It is definitely a nice place to visit and definitely has a lot of things to do. But one of the most underrated and probably unknown attractions in Detroit is the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. This, of course, was founded and started by Henry Ford, and it is one of the largest museums in the country, and it is probably mostly unknown outside of Michigan. So you should definitely come and check it out. So the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation and Greenfield Village, which is in Detroit just known as the Henry Ford, is a history complex museum in Dearborn, Michigan. This museum collection contains the presidential limousine of John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln's chair from Ford's Theater, Thomas Edison's laboratory, the Wright Brothers' actual bicycle shop, the bus that Rosa Parks actually rode on, along with many other historical exhibits. It is the largest indoor-outdoor museum complex in the United States and is visited by over 1.7 million people each year.
Check out our Wander Open Roads travel gear shop in Etsy. Click on the link in the description.
Henry Ford wanted to preserve the items of historical interest and to portray the Industrial Revolution, the property of houses, homes, machinery, and exhibits, and Americana of historically significant items. And many of these items from the museum actually started out from his personal collection. This museum actually opened to the public in 1933 and has a long history, including an educational wing that started out as the Edison Institute. So today the museum covers 12 acres and is primarily a collection of antique machinery, pop culture items, automobiles, locomotives, aircraft, and many other items, including a 4K digital projection theater, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, the 1961 Lincoln Continental, which President John F. Kennedy was riding in when he was assassinated, the rocking chair from Ford's Theater in which President Abraham Lincoln was sitting when he was assassinated, George Washington's camp bed, a collection of several 17th and 18th century violins, including a Stradivarius, Thomas Edison's alleged last breath in a sealed tube. So there's so many different just interesting things that you can see. And you know, Henry Ford was truly an innovator, and he went around during his lifetime collecting these items. So it is very interesting, really one of the most unique museums and really just complete museums that you are ever going to see. Greenfield Village is the outdoor living history museum section of the Henry Ford complex, and it was opened to the public in 1933. It was the first outdoor museum of its type in the nation and served as a model for subsequent outdoor museums. The museum's intent is to show how Americans have lived and worked since the founding of the century. The village includes buildings from the 17th century to the present, many of which are staffed with costume interpreters who conduct period tasks such as farming, sewing, and cooking. A collection of craft buildings such as pottery, glass blowing, and tin shops provide demonstrations while producing materials used in the village and for sale. There is a steam locomotive that will take you around Greenfield Village. The rail line, now named the Weiser Railroad, is a steam locomotive, and it was built in 1873 and is the oldest operational locomotive in the United States. The unique thing about Greenfield Village is that these are original buildings that Henry Ford, in many cases, purchased and physically moved from other locations, such as Noah Webster's Connecticut home. Of course, Noah Webster is the man that wrote the dictionary. The Wright Brothers bicycle shop and home, which were bought and moved from Dayton, Ohio. A replica of Thomas Edison's Menlo Park Laboratory complex from New Jersey. the Edison homestead, which is the birthplace of Thomas Edison's father, from Vienna, Ontario, as well as Henry Ford's birthplace, which was moved from the city of Detroit in 1944, and it was furnished exactly as it was during his mother's time. And while you're there, definitely make sure that you schedule to get a ride around in a Model T. And this is the Wright Brothers bicycle shop. Before they started making airplanes, they made bicycles, and they had a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. And after they stopped making bicycles and went into the aircraft business, Henry Ford bought their original building and moved it to Dearborn, Michigan. So this is the original shop. This is where they actually built the prototype airplane, and they shipped it by rail to North Carolina to do the first flight at Kitty Hawk. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this is the building where Heinz first started making their products in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this is the original building that they started out in. After America moved into the Industrial Revolution, and as the machines gave way to computers and all these different things, Henry Ford never wanted us to forget where we started from. With this equipment here is what started the American Industrial Revolution. So after Thomas Edison made the light bulb and electricity became a thing, this is what happened when your house was not pre-wired for electricity. Definitely looks strange compared to modern homes and buildings today, but yeah, this is what it would have looked like. So I'm a huge history buff, and the Henry Ford is one of the best museums I have ever been to. If you're ever in the Detroit area, you definitely need to go and see it. And I will definitely say that it's going to take you a good 2 to 3 days to actually really see everything. So make sure you plan accordingly. Thanks for joining us for another Wander Open Roads adventure, and we will see you next time.
Wander safely.